And she also was married, and he also was married, but, you know, kids don't know. Yeah, but eventually, by the time I was 10, Mama had split up with her husband at that point, my little sister's daddy, and we started spending all this time with John. And we would come to the house, and we would go on vacations together, and it was all very hush-hush because he was still attached. And so that's not in the book, y'all. Y'all are finding out something, don't tell nobody. Okay? Can't get let that get around. And so the best advice that he ever gave me was, he said, always be unique, always be yourself, be true to yourself. If something doesn't feel quite right or they're trying to turn you into something else, don't do it, because you will be miserable. And that served me really well. The times that I buckled under pressure to try and conform to someone else's idea of what I needed to be like or sound like, or could you just not sound quite as hillbilly-like? It's like, so, you know, when they're trying to turn me into a rock artist, I just never could understand why. I just couldn't write songs and sing, you know? And one of the nice things about getting to be a little bit older is I can just write songs and sing. It's awesome. And good people like y'all come out and see me, and I get to share music with y'all.
What kind of So, getting back to your solo career, I mean, you were in the stratosphere here when you returned to recording albums. I mean, it was just one hit after another after another.
Yeah, when I came back, I went to the CMA Awards. I was on a date with Dwight Yoakam, y'all. And I was a single woman again, and I was on a date with Dwight, and he was on the show, and I saw KT Osmond sing that song, "Husband Comes Home from Work." You know, the one about Hold Me. And I thought, I know about that. I can do that. And I thought, there is a place for me in country music. And I've been told repeatedly that I just wasn't right. And so all I did is I went back to Warner Brothers. I started working with Howie Epstein in the studio. I wrote a bunch of songs, and I did the album I Fell in Love with Him. And I went back to Warner Brothers, and I went to see my old buddy, who's still my publicist, Bob Burles, and said, what should I do with this? I think it's country. And he goes, I think it is too. You should just go down the hall and play it to Lenny Warnaker, who's like the head of Warner Brothers. And I thought he was serious, so I walked down the hall and with my little cassette tape, and I knocked on his door, and his secretary said, well, Carlene Carter, how are you? And I said, I'm good, is he in? And she's going, I'm sure he'd like to see you. And I walked in, I handed him the cassette, and he said, I'll spot it.